This was, you guys told me about this video and to check it out. So I did go over there and watch this. This is an interesting video right here.
The Trump administration, is the government hiding a client list or anything that the Trump administration could release tonight?
No, there is no client list. There never has been a client list. A client list suggests that Jeffrey Epstein made a list of people to whom he trafficked women. What there is a redacted FBI affidavit from accusers. There are several of them from accusers that accuse Jeffrey, that accuse various people of having improper sex. And
thank you, Bella Stella.
Has been redacted. The names of the people accused have been blacked out. Now, of course, because I was the lawyer and I did all the investigations, I know who all these people are. I could figure out based on.
So he was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer, just so everybody understands. So Alan Dershowitz was Epstein's lawyer.
Everything that I saw, who Mr. X is, Mr. Y is, and Mr. Z. I can tell you right now, none of them are public figures who are currently in office. Some of them were previously in office. Some of them are dead. But there is no client list. And the redactions could be undone if you go to court. So many of the things that are being suppressed by two judges in Manhattan. And they're doing it largely to protect the alleged accusers who are, in the view of the judges, victims, even though we don't know what their actual status is. But the judges have issued orders, which is why I can't disclose things I'd love to disclose, saying that you can't disclose this information. But Pam Bondi and the Justice Department and Donald Trump are not responsible for that. I don't know of any information that they could disclose that they haven't disclosed.
Now, everything he's saying, I agree with, but they made themselves responsible when they rolled out the Epstein files phase 1. They made themselves responsible when Bondi said, the documents are sitting on my desk to be reviewed. Bondi said that. Bondi set an expectation that something was going to happen. And then they rolled out this nonsensical influencer bullshit. This is where the problem is, and this is where my criticism has been directed at.
Now, maybe there is some, but I'm simply not aware of it. And so I think it's important to place the blame where the blame deserves to be placed. The vast majority of people who are in the files, and I know them all, I've seen all the names, the vast majority of them have already been disclosed. They're in articles all over the world. They're in books that have been written. So if we got everything, you would be shocked how few names are there that haven't already been disclosed. The media hasn't, by the way, done a good enough job in finding the people who have been disclosed in the public record. So that's that list. Then there's the videotapes. People say there must be sex tapes. I know the whole story there. There is a videotape, maybe several videotapes. They came under the following circumstances. Before any of this happened, Epstein was robbed by one of his employees of money and of a licensed gun. And he called the Palm Beach police, and they installed video cameras, not in the bedrooms, but in the living room. And those video cameras recorded some people, but there's no sexual allegations there. So there's nothing to that. And then there's Tucker Carlson's absurd allegations about the Mossad. There I know it from very, very personal experience. Why? I was representing Jeffrey Epstein. I asked him about everything, including whether he had any contacts with intelligence agencies. If he had, he would have been dying to tell me that, because I could have used that to get him a better deal. If he had worked with the Mossad or the CIA, that would have been golden for me. But of course he said no. And then I checked it with my sources in Israel. Let me clear, I once represented the Mossad when 5 Israeli Mossad agents were captured in Cyprus. The head of the Mossad asked me to represent them. I did. I got them out, and the Mossad sent me a congratulatory note. I'm friendly with many of the people who have been heads of the Mossad. I'm not going to tell you who my sources are, but I can tell you with absolute certainty he had no connections to Mossad. He only got connected to Israel very late in this when he met Ehud Barak and he made business dealings with him. But there was no connection to Mossad. The reason that story generated is because his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, probably did have a connection to Mossad, Robert Maxwell, but it had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And as far as the suicide is concerned, of course it was a suicide, but it was a suicide, I believe, assisted by jailers. It was not a suicide that he could have committed alone.
Well, so a lot of the stuff he's talking about, he obviously has very good information on. I don't know how he knows it was or wasn't a suicide because he's not privy to that information. He's just making an estimated, he's just making a guess. He's just making a guess. How would he know if it's a suicide or not? How do you have information on that? He wouldn't know if it was a suicide or not. He just wouldn't.
And I think the jailers had something to do with his cellmate being dismissed, with the cameras being turned off. So there are things that can be hidden, but there's no smoking gun here, and there's no fault on the part of this administration, as far as I can tell.
So, Professor, we both know, like, the answer to why Carlson and these other guys are now using Epstein as an article of convenience is because it works. For them to say he's a Mossad agent, it's a great way to advance.
Cuomo, kind of like how you used COVID, and you pushed the vaccine lie. Remember when Cuomo faked? Was that Cuomo where he claimed that he had to stay downstairs to isolate himself away from his family? And then they did that whole thing where he slowly walked up the stairs to hug his family, and his family didn't even look like they cared. His family looked like they could care less.
All right, here it is. The official re-entry from the basement, cleared by CDC. A little sweaty, just worked out, happens. This is what I've been dreaming of, literally for weeks. My wife, she was cleared by the CDC. She doesn't have fever. She doesn't have the symptoms anymore, more than 7 days from her quarantine. But we're still a little scared, so I'll just give you one of these. 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 Bella has, of course, taken the video. This is the dream, just to be back up here doing normal things. Thank you for being so nice to me. Thank you for taking care of everything you had to. Thank you for taking care of me. And Bella, thank you for stepping up and now adding family videographer to your resume. She's rolling her eyes. Wow. It's not for me. Thank you. This is for when we go outside. That's what we have to do now, all of us in New York. So anyway, I'm back. Let's get after it.
And then there was reports that he left his house during the time that he was supposed to be on lockdown, and he got into an altercation with someone. Yeah. Okay, Cuomo.
And keep relevant the anti-Zionist movement that's going on right now.
Sure.
I've never seen conservatives, this Charlie Kirk thing that they just did, it used to be puzzling to me why the evangelicals loved Israel so much until I understood the whole nature of the rapture and all this second passion and all this.
All right, so, Cuomo's just taking it in a whole different place now. But in terms of what Dershowitz said, I think he's also stated that obviously Trump is in the Epstein files because they had a friendship back in the day. But Trump is nowhere, anywhere is Trump indicated as to doing any wrongdoing, which is exactly what we've known for a long time. I don't think that there's a chance in hell that Trump is guilty of any wrongdoing, and he has not been accused of any wrongdoing. Now, the people that hate Trump are just going to continue to tell you that he is because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they have TDS, and that's totally fine. They're going to continue to do that because they're very stupid people, and we know that.